Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a great day, not just a good day. I know I have been MIA for a while, and even though there are just like 270 of you and just 40 people like basically watch my videos, I still feel like I'm obligated to like explain why. So I've just not been in the headspace for a while, and my mom has been annoying the hell out of me with house chores. So like by the time I'm done with the house chores for the day, it's like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and I'm exhausted and I just want to watch Netflix and sleep off and whatever. And if you notice in my last video, I also had a problem with my mic whereby like the clipping wasn't working, and unfortunately enough, it wasn't actually spoiled. It just removed and I didn't need to buy a new one, but thankfully I didn't buy a new one. So like, you know. Thirdly, the wig that I usually use for my videos had a technical issue. I just noticed that the thing cut, but this was just yesterday, so that's not really an excuse. So let me just dive straight into the case because I'm sure you guys don't really care. But just for your information, I'm going to be bombarding you guys with videos for like the next 1 or 2 weeks to cover up for the weeks or for just the 1 week I haven't posted. And before that, I was kind of like flimsy with my posting. So I'm just going to post like 3 times a week or 4 times a week for the next 2 weeks, so I feel better about myself and I feel like I'm not owing videos to YouTube. In today's case, we're going to be talking about a cursed ass family. Like, it's so crazy because how can you do this to your own children? And not only did you just do it alone, your sister also did it in another year. Like, you know, it's just like really crazy. Like, is the family like local? Off with their heads. So we're going to start with the most popular person, Shamaiya Deyonshana Hall. She's actually the most popular for some very weird reason because she murdered more than one child. But her sister murdered one of her children, her only child, her only girl daughter, in the year or 2 years before that. I'm going to explain that in this case. I mean, that's the only reason why this case is popular. So Shamaiya Deyonshana Hall is a 25-year-old woman, and she's facing 3 counts of capital murder of her 3 children out of 5. Thankfully, she didn't murder all 5. She and her 5 children lived in Italy, and not Italy the country. Italy is a town that's in south of Dallas of America. So just mixing that up, because when I actually read Italy, I was like, oh, but this is not a US case, and I found out it actually was a town called Italy in South Dallas. And they were living on Harris Street in this particular town, and the children were actually living with a relative. And this relative was her grandmother. Apparently, Shamaiya had actually gotten in trouble with the law in the past at one point for chasing a man with a knife, stealing. And in the case of the stealing, she would say that she was doing it because she had lots of children to feed and she didn't have any food. So like, you know, at that time when that was happening or she was charged with that, she didn't lose custody of her kids yet until she started threatening the lives of others in the community. So when this happened, she lost custody of her kids and her kids started living with her grandmother. Apparently, when the kids were left in the custody of the grandmother and Shamaiya came out of jail after a few months, you know, of whatever crime she committed, the grandmother was allowing access for Shamaiya to be taking care of her kids. It was basically like she never lost her kids because the grandmother was even hardly ever around. You know, she just took the custody of the kids so that she can give it back to her own child, which is Shamaiya. So obviously this was unauthorized access, and Shamaiya was living with her children normally. This was actually going on for a while, and obviously as Shamaiya was taken to jail and the children were put in custody, CDS, which is the Child Development Services, would have to be checking in on the children for welfare checks. Did I just say checkers? Welfare checks. So a CDS caseworker decided to make a visit on a Friday to check on the kids, and by the time the CDS worker got there, they saw that the environment was not fit enough for the kids to live in, especially because they saw Shamaiya in the building. So the caseworker decided to remove the children from the building and call 911. And just within 5 minutes of the caseworker going out to call 911 and coming back with the police to see what, you know, to take the children out of the building, Shamaiya had stabbed 5 of her children. 3 were injured beyond repair because by the time they got to the hospital to try to revive the kids or see if there was any help, only 2 survived and the remaining 3 had died. Her 6-year-old son and 5-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, were the 3 that actually died. The 13-month-old daughter and 4-year-old son had injury from the knife attack but survived treatment at the hospital. The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services refused to bring out more information and said that this was the only information that they could release out to the public, and that was when the connections of Shamaiya and her sister in 2021 came out. Apparently, her twin sister Troya Shire Hall in 2021 was charged with murder of stabbing her 7-year-old daughter. Apparently, before they could even rush the daughter to the hospital, she had already died, because it even took time for them to find her in the apartment that they lived in. So which basically means that this happened in less than 2 years between when her sister did that to her own child and Shamaiya did that, killed basically her own child. Wow. A $2 million bond on each child was set, and obviously she's not going to be able to pay that bill. And that's where I'm going to talk about the history of her crimes in detail this time with the years. In 2017, she was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's the threatening a man with the knife I talked about earlier. She had also been caught stealing at one point in time, but I think the owner of the store eventually ended up dropping the case, so it wasn't really seen on the radar really. In 2020, she pleaded guilty for causing bodily harm to a man that she beat. Like, she literally I mean, I really don't understand how people like this were just let out after doing crime after crime. But you know, until something drastic happens before the police put everybody in check, apparently. So basically, in case you're not understanding why she did this, because I feel like it should be known by me telling you, apparently it was seen that she wanted to have custody of her kids because she loved her kids so much. And that was why she wanted to kill her children, because if she can't take care of them, no one else can. So which is the basic reason why she murdered, or planned to murder, all her kids, and unfortunately 3 went back to heaven. Hopefully she's going to get a jail sentence for life without the possibility of parole. I'm going to make sure that I update myself while everything is happening, and if there's a court case, and if you're watching this and have any updates, you can just put it in the description, in the comment section, and I would like and read and probably pin your comment so that anybody else that comes to watch this video can see the updates. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video.